This is Julien, and I'm here in Dallas, Texas, and this video is going to be a bit of a sad and disturbing video. What we're going to jump into are some of the most common letting go horror stories that I see more and more. If you're someone who's been trying to let go and you're not getting the results that you're after, then you might fall into one of these letting go traps that honestly keeps people stuck, keeps people in this spiritual cycle of mental masturbation, or can actually make people far worse. Okay, so pay very close attention. The first horror story, and this one is very common, I see it all the time, is someone who might read a very powerful and illuminating and even enlightening book like Letting Go. Okay, Letting Go by David Hawkins. They'll read that and they'll be very inspired. It's like, oh, this is, the new spiritual Bible. This is amazing. And at the end, their conclusion is, well, letting go is simply, accepting how I feel and breathing into it, right? And I'll talk to people like this. A lot of clients, when they start working with me, that's what they say. Hey, Julian, I've been letting go. That book's really good, thanks for the rec. And, whenever I feel a little achy, whenever I feel, a little knot in my stomach, whenever I feel not too good, I just breathe into it, right? That's what the book says. Just accept what you're feeling and breathe into it. And that's been my practice. It's been a little helpful, and I do it all the time. Whenever I feel a little bad, I breathe into it. If you resonate with that, if that's you've fallen into one of the top letting go traps. That there is not letting go. That there is simply scratching the surface. So let me explain. Think of it like this. Imagine within you, there is a certain reservoir, okay? A reservoir of all this stuff that you've been disowning, suppressing, repressing, all this pent-up energy, if you will, and you're just trying to maintain it below the surface. And people are walking around left and right with this reservoir, this tank full, and something might happen in your life, and it's the classic straw that broke the camel's back, right? It's that extra little drop in the reservoir that just makes it pop. That there is what people really focus on in this first trap here in terms of letting go. They're walking around, something happens, right? They might be cut off in traffic and they just explode. They're like, why did they cut me off? I can't believe this, and like flipping out. And then they remember, that book, Letting Go by David Hawkins, let's just breathe into it. Okay, let's keep on going. And what do? They only focus on that little extra drop. They never actually get to depleting the reservoir. It's only scratching the surface. And then guess what? They'll breathe through it, and then they'll go about their day. The reservoir is still full. Another little drop will fall in there. They'll explode. They might be sad, some anxiety. They'll breathe into it, and they'll keep going about their days. And the reservoir is still full. Nothing truly changes. Of course, it is a much healthier and better approach than numbing how you feel, escaping how you feel, right? Or trying to express how you feel, but it doesn't get to the cause. If you want to get to the cause and not get stuck in this trap of always having this reservoir full and simply processing the little drops, if you want to process the entire reservoir, then you're gonna have to dig a lot deeper. You're going to have to access your subconscious mind. This requires a lot of introspection, right? Sitting down and, for example, instead of just focusing on some things that scare you, right? As an example, like some of the surface fears, you're gonna have to identify the core fears. We call this following the trail of whys, right? Or instead of focusing on that one experience, that little drop, perhaps asking yourself, when was a previous time I might have experienced this? What about a time before that? When was the first time I experienced this? And diving a lot deeper, okay? Don't just scratch the surface, get to the reservoir. That is trap number one. If that's you, wake up, okay? Trap number two, and I hear this a lot as well, is people confuse letting go with simply sitting at home and meditating. And they think that's all there is to it. I've been sitting at home for a long time now and I'm just letting go and letting go and letting go, and they use it as an excuse to stop taking action and stop partaking in the world in this thing called life. Okay, letting go basically becomes their life. They're in their house, their home, their apartment, and just, I'm letting go. No, okay? Letting go and action go hand in hand. It's not just about sitting at home and breathing into whatever you're feeling and processing and introspecting. You must also combine it with taking action. And don't use it as an excuse to shelter yourself from life. Okay, letting go is not meant to become your life, it's meant to enhance your life. Okay, so one formula that I teach my clients goes like this: action, trigger, release, repeat. Action, trigger, release, repeat. Where you might take action, right? You might be a little bit anxious. You're like, oh, I don't want to do that. I'm a little bit scared, or there might be some resistance. You do the thing. You take action. It triggers that resistance, where it triggers like that fear, that anxiety. Then, with the trigger, it allows you to access some of that reservoir, right? Something that's been buried deep inside comes out even more to the surface. Then you release it, you let go, you process it, and you repeat it. So action, proactively triggering yourself as an example, is very powerful, and it is a huge part of this process. So it's not just sitting at home, it's letting go and action, and there's a certain synergy that happens between the two. So if you're just sitting at home, wake up. Okay, and lastly, trap number 3, letting go horror story number 3 is someone who comes up to me, and this is really sad, and I've heard it a lot and I hear it more and more. It's like, hey, I've been trying to let go and get rid of, that reservoir for a long time, and it doesn't seem like much is changing, right? And the big mistake people make there is that they confuse letting go with getting rid of. I don't feel too good. I want to let go of it. I want to get rid of it. And in reality, letting go, it's not getting rid of. It's the act of not doing, not resisting. It's the act of acceptance. What you have to realize is that reservoir, right? And that's the problem. People assume that by default they do nothing. By default, right now you're doing a lot. You're stuffing all that down. You're resisting it. And as you, I hope, know, whatever you resist persists. So letting go isn't, oh, I'm resisting it, now I gotta get rid of it, because then you're still labeling it as bad and you're still resisting it. Letting go is, hey, just stop. Let go of the resistance. All that stuff there, all that reservoir, it wants to leave. You don't have to make it leave. You have to allow it to leave. Okay, and if you want a life-changing exercise here, try taking a cold shower every single day for a month. Okay, try taking a cold shower, and don't just go the regular route of cold showers, which is pumped in mainstream self-help, which is, you go in the cold and you just kind of toughen up, you jump in and you'll come out of it and you'll experience that really nice high, right? Oh yeah, blood's rushing, great. No. You're gonna go into the cold water, the cold shower, and the challenge here is, see if you can relax into it. See how relaxed you can get. And what you'll notice is that the default is you'll tense up. It's like, oh, the cold. Fight against it. Barrel through. Yeah. No. Relax. Just see how light, how relaxed you can be. And that's, you could say, that act of not doing. Because when you start bringing what's in that reservoir up to the surface, your default, because you've been stuffing it down for so long, just like with the cold, is stuff it back down, right? Fight against it, resist it. And you will have to bring it up and relax into it, let it run its course, and it will be gone on its own. Okay, if you're trying to get rid of it, you're resisting it, and it will persist. So those 3 situations there, those 3 letting go horror stories, I see it left and right. This is one of the big mistakes people make, right? They try to figure it all out on their own. They think that letting go is just, just breathing into it, just meditating. It's an easy way to avoid taking action, right? Or it's trying to get rid of. No, there's a reason. When I teach my clients how to let go, it's an in-depth 8-week process. It's a very active process. There's action, there's introspection. There are guided meditations that allow you to really dive into that reservoir. It's not just, just breathe. You don't feel too good? Breathe into it. No, don't be so gullible, don't be so naive. I know more and more in the mainstream, left and right, it's very just dumbed down, right? Oh, just breathe into it. There's a lot more to it than that. Don't be duped, okay? Letting go, in reality, it is very simple. It's, hey, actually, dive into yourself, get to know yourself, and don't resist it. It's simple, but it is not easy to do. So be careful. Don't waste all this time letting go the wrong way or thinking you're letting go when you actually aren't and you're making things worse. Do it the smart way. And of course, if you'd like my personal help guiding you through this, click the link below this video. Apply to join that 8-week in-depth coaching program. I call this Transformation Mastery Mentoring, where I take you by the hand, I walk you past the wreckage of people who try to apply spirituality and letting go the wrong way. Let's get this handled, and I bring you to the promised land. Click the link below if you're ready, if you're done dabbling, if you want to wake up from this letting go nightmare. And as always, until next time.
Like, this program is such a game changer. The way everything's structured and the material, it's been already, even for me, it's just been, I'm noticing a crazy change in the way that my whole life's like playing out.
What you put together is just incredible. There's nothing like that.
I've just jumped like a million levels. It's just been a complete 180 for my experience of existing. That's awesome.
It's just been so huge in terms of so many of the things I'm finally understanding and realizing and epiphanies I'm having.
What you do is a huge inspiration to me, and I think it's one of the most beautiful things you can give to another human in this entire world.
You saved my life, man. I'm telling you, this is real, man.
Sometimes all it takes is just one person who believes in you. Find people who are where you are in life and model them, work with them. I would not be here if I didn't have people who held me accountable.
Wow.
I just felt a click and things are changing.
This program was just top notch.
Seriously, like, this is a masterpiece. This is perfect.
Everything, the way it's set up, the live calls, like all the support from the coaches is incredible.
It's been nuts.
I just had like tears of joy.
This was the best decisions I ever made.
Thank you for creating something wonderful like this.
This program was phenomenal.
This program was amazing.
This program has definitely changed my life.
I know for a fact I'm in the right place.
This is exactly what I was expecting from the program.
It's been spectacular.
I feel really lucky to have found you.
Thank you so much, Julien. It's worth every dollar.